Allons-y. I think it's the fact that I think we know pretty definitively that there were a lot of people that didn't get to see it in theaters in 3D that were hoping to, because we went along with almost no decline or very little decline right up until the moment that Alice in Wonderland and How to Train Your Dragon and these other 3D movies came out, and then we, like that.
Right.
So clearly there weren't enough screens to support two big 3D movies or three big 3D movies at the same time. So on that basis, we immediately at that time started to make plans for when there would be an opening in the schedule to bring Avatar, back to screens in 3D. So then I started to get creative with that idea and say, well, wait a minute, if we're going to come back out, why don't we take some of these scenes that we really love, that we had to take out of the movie for length, and put them back in? Because the message that we got from fans was, the movie's not too long. If anything, it's too short. We'd like to see more of Pandora. So it seemed like a way to sort of kill two birds with one stone, let people have the theatrical experience and show them a little bit more of the world. They're both director's cuts, yeah, in a way. I still think that the original release version is definitive. Right. It's the movie that was nominated for 9 Academy Awards and so on. So this is really more of an experiment. This is having fun with the medium. This is having fun, giving the fans something extra. I don't think that this cut should necessarily stand the test of time, but we'll see. We'll see if people might like it better. Who knows? This isn't coming from the studio. I've had to sort of drag them, back to this.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they thought, well, it was just too unconventional for them. You don't release, you don't theatrically re-release a movie until 10 years later, exactly, or 20 years later, some anniversary or something, right, like that. It's just not done. I thought Avatar has never played by the rules, ever. There are fans out there that want to have the theatrical experience. They want to have the 3D experience. Why not? You can't have a 3D experience right now in the home. You can buy a TV set, yeah, but you can't get the disc because we're not releasing that for a while. What do we have to lose? It's already a huge hit, exactly, So we can take these kinds of chances. We can have fun with it. I mean, for me, it's just an experiment. I mean, I feel like instinctively we've gauged what the fans want accurately, which is that they want to see it in a theater. They want to have that experience. Maybe it becomes like a family moment where, because we didn't play to kids that much. I think people were concerned about the intensity of the film, what they'd heard about it and so on. Now that we've been in home video, so many parents have seen that their kids love the movie. I don't know about other families, but my kids play it all the time, and I get in trouble because of, there's some language, So Did you see Terminator?
Of course.
Come on, that's a pretty hot scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
I think it's up there.
Yeah.
I think it's up there.
What about this one? Is it?
It doesn't change the rating. Just to
okay.
manage everyone's. No, it's not too hot. We put back every frame that was available of that scene, and I think it's 17 seconds or something like that.
All right.
So yeah, no, that's definitely there, and there are a couple of big. There's one huge action set piece which we call the Sternbeast Hunt, with flying and horse stuff and these new creatures that you've never seen before, and there's another creature that's introduced in another scene. So there's two new kind of species that are a couple of my favorite designs in the film. There's a big, powerful, emotional scene toward the end of the film that was taken out. That now, when it's reinstated, everybody just like, wow, why did you take that out in the first place? But you have to remember, these things were taken out at a point that when they weren't finished.
Right.
They didn't look like that.
Yeah, yeah.
They looked like a kind of video game version. And so it's been fun to go back, and I had to ask the studio for quite a fair chunk of money to do this,
right, because
finishing all these shots is an expensive process.
Exactly.
Even though we're better at it, and we can do it faster and all that, it's still expensive. What we're seeing right now is some people have rushed in that shouldn't have, and and some people are doing shoddy 3D. Some people are doing shoddy conversions. Other people, but you got to remember, we're only half a year after the release of Avatar. Right. It takes a year to make a movie, or sometimes a year and a half. So we're not seeing the films that were natively authored in 3D. That
yeah,
we're seeing the stuff that's the rush to capitalize on it. So I think quality product will ultimately prevail. Hopefully, the lesson to Hollywood is, if you want this market to flourish, you have to protect the quality. And I think the lesson to consumers is, Don't assume that because a movie's in 3D, it's going to be a great experience.
All right.
Find out, one, is it a good movie? In the normal way that you find out if a movie's good. You go online, you listen to the critics, you listen to other fans, you get your ear to the ground, right? And two, don't find out what kind of 3D it is. Is it a quicko conversion like they did on Last Airbender? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or is it natively authored 3D like you're going to have on the upcoming Tron?
Exactly.